Hello and welcome to the Cosmic Healing Podcast. This is Vaughn and our darling Dana with our bonus episode, monthly episode where we review the month ahead via Dana's cards. So, hello, Dana.
Hey, Vaughn. Thanks for having me back as always. I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming up in April, just a couple days away. I can't
I
believe
know. I mean, this March really truly was the fastest month ever. I don't know. It feels like middle school, like those are the fastest 3 years ever. And then it's like, because you got like February, you got like January, February, March. And then it's like, I'm already going into high school, which is like spring. And we're in a whole new year, right? Because technically,
Yes.
April, the sign of Aries, is the new year, which feels so right. And I feel like more and more people are beginning to, understand this and feel this and just see truly how hijacked the astrological calendar truly
Oh,
was.
I know. Our Gregorian calendar is so messed up. It's so messed up. So out of line with nature. So happy New Year, everybody, because it truly is this truly is the real new year. And if we follow the patterns of nature, this is a time to plant some seeds, to notice what is, being born in our lives, what is blooming, what's coming to fruition. And it's not like this is still the very beginning of spring, right? Like this is the very beginning. So it's not, don't expect like everything to be like popping up. Like just look around you at nature. Where are we in the cycle and the flow of things? And your life is going to be reflective of that too. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. It just feels so fresh and new and exciting. And, I understand what this year means. And so it's like I'm always okay. I feel like I always it's not that I got my guard up, but I'm okay, what's next? Because there is we're in a season of just such transformation and transition and we truly don't know. Oh, and like all the new information that just came out about the pyramid. Yes. Oh my gosh, like that is just expanding so much knowledge about what really this life exists of. And I cannot believe I'm going to Egypt this month in April. I am going to Egypt. Like, what? I am just literally like jumping for joy over here.
it's so cool. Such a great time to go now that
Yeah.
information just came out too. I sent it to my brother because my brother went to Egypt in October of last year. And he was like, yeah, that's cool, but that hasn't been peer reviewed yet. And I was like, okay, but look at all the technology that the ancient Egyptians already did. There's no way this is not possible. Like, come
Exactly.
on.
Like there's no way, no human could have
Right.
facilitated that,
My
orchestrated
brother,
that.
always the naysayer. It's okay.
Well, we got to appreciate the naysayers, but we also got to
Yes.
appreciate the technology available to us today to be able to discover things like that.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
amazing. Yeah, I mean, we're just in such a time of awakening and deeper understanding and just
Hmm.
I'm still waiting on the aliens to come. I feel like that was such a hot topic. I'd look up I mean I still do every night. I'm like, am I gonna see one tonight?
Right.
But it's like I feel like that kind of quieted down a little bit. I'm always like, who's feeding this narrative to us? Like the aliens are coming and people were seeing UFOs everywhere. And now there's like no UFO sightings. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah. I don't know. We could go real deep down a rabbit hole, but I definitely think that a lot of that is a distraction,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I think the aliens are always around, honestly. So
uh-huh.
I don't know.
Absolutely, aliens are always around. I mean, we are alien, damn it. Like, come on.
That's right. I know. I always think too, like, if other planets like use us as astrology, what does Earth represent to them? Like we have meanings for all the planets in our solar, like what do we represent?
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? That's so cool. Are we the oh God, we got Earth. There's an
Oh
eclipse
God,
on Earth right now, and oh boy.
you have Earth in Sagittarius, woo, or whatever. I don't know.
That's so funny. I've never thought about that before. Because it's all about us, right? Like,
Right, we're the center of the universe.
yeah, we're
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Well, I am super excited to hear what these cards have in store. And upon reflection, like, how was your March and how did the cards support you?
Yeah, I mean, March for me was like a really big month of motherhood. There was a lot that went on in my children's lives, and I felt like I had to really like advocate for them and do some different things than I normally do, which is kind of like that lighthouse card, if you guys
Mhm.
remember, came up.
Yeah.
That was like, warning, warning, you can't just keep coming in here. You're going to hit the rocks. You need to go around and do a different
Yeah.
way. And so I had to do a lot of things for my kids this month that just required me to do some different things than what I normally do as a mom. So there was that for me. And it was a really like internal month for me personally. It was like an emotional month for me. All I focused on was my kids, I feel like. And being a mom is hard sometimes, and it's taxing and it's emotional and it's hard watching your literal heart walking around in the world and dealing with stuff, and that is hard. So that my month was just so steeped in motherhood and my children. Um,
Yeah.
and all the cards were very reflective of that, though, of like
Yeah.
remembering the power as a mother, that waterfall
Yeah.
card, like
Yeah. Yeah.
things coming to light, nothing like serious, but like, my kids like telling me things and, so it was all very accurate.
Yeah. And then the connection between, how your kids heal you and any of your inner wounding. So I'm sure everything that is being brought up for them is healing you. And so it's so beautiful, how our kids really play such a massive role in our own healing.
Huge,
Yeah.
huge, huge. Yeah, totally. What about for you? How was the month for you?
Yeah, the lighthouse one for sure. I thought about it a lot, so that I could really see things from another perspective and do things how differently. And I mean, I've I've been just really proud of myself. Like I've been just really trying to like pour into myself and be like, I'm so proud of myself the way that I am changing, the way that I'm handling conversations. Just the way I'm able to lay things down. Oh my gosh, like I'm telling you, ever since my ARC retreat, and for those of you that may not have listened, I was at the ARC retreat and I was sick and I was really stressed. I was freaking out. It was the first night of my retreat. I had 20 women and I was sick. And in the middle of that first night, I got up and I moved my head from the normal part of the bed to the foot of the bed. And I was like, why am I doing this? And I literally, as I got my head at the foot of the bed, I just heard God say, lay it down,
Mm,
lay it down. And I was like, oh, like I am literally gonna lay this down at his feet.
literally.
And literally, and like he moved me here to do that. So I'm gonna do it. And I did it. And it was literally the most incredible retreat experience. Like it just was the sweetest
Mm,
retreat and an experience. And it took us all so much deeper because I was able to lay it down. And so it called us all to lay it down. And that's kind of my theme now is just like lay it down. So anything that I feel coming up for me now and I allow myself to feel the emotions to be with what is and at the same time, just be like, and I don't have to hold this. I don't have to carry this. Like, I get to lay it down. I don't have to lose my joy because of overthinking this situation or this new thing that has presented itself in my life, right? Like, I get to lay it down. And that truly is surrender. So to be in true surrender, because I had a couple things come up where I could feel where it was stealing my joy. I was allowing it to steal my joy. And in that moment, I'd be like, what? I don't have to do, like, if I know I'm here to live a joy-filled life and to be more happy than I am frustrated and angry or, disappointed or whatever was happening, then that's my mission. Like, that's what I'm trying to aim for is happiness. So how can I bring in more happiness into my days, into my life, into my family and my friends and just my life? And I don't know, I just feel like I am laughing so much. I feel like I have belly laughs like every day. And I'm just allowing it, but it's because I'm laying it down because it'd be really easy for me to hold on to some stressful things in my life, right? Like it's there.
Mhm.
The shit is there, but I'm choosing not to hold on to it and letting it control my life, which is what I talk about all the time. Like the shit's always going to be there. It's how we deal with it and process it is the journey. And so just me witnessing myself in this new behavior, because it's a learned behavior. You don't just all of a sudden, oh, I'm living a joy-filled life and everything's happy and great. Like that takes a lot of work and a lot of letting go and a lot of surrender. And the fact that I'm like living in it right now, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm doing it.
That's awesome.
And so I'm just really proud of myself. And so just, anytime there's like something new come up, I'm like, oh, like I'll feel the poke, I'll feel the emotion, my nervous system wanting to go into freak out mode. And I'm like, I get to check myself.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, all right, this is how you do it. And I'm doing it. And I'm proud of myself.
Good, you should be because like the challenges are never going anywhere. Like we
Exactly.
can't sit here and think like, oh, a joy-filled life means everything's perfect.
Right.
We never reach that point. That's
No.
happen. So it's about like living with that duality, right? And like choosing, like you said, when to feel those emotions, when to be in it, and when to say, all right, I've had enough of this. I'm gonna step back into my joy consciously. Like I'm gonna choose that, right?
I'm choosing to lay this down. Yeah.
Hmm.
It still exists.
Yeah.
It's still there. I'm just not carrying it.
Yes. Letting
And
it.
that's what we've done our entire, that's what we're all doing so much work to unload everything we've been carrying all of our life, all of our, the generational, that's what we're doing is we're unpacking it. We're letting it go from us holding it. And so it just doesn't make sense to let go of one thing, but hold on to another.
Right.
Like this is how we rise up is the more we let go because we cannot rise when we're holding on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm with you.
So cool. Well, I'm super excited to tune in to April and the energy and what's happening.
Me too.
Astrologically, what's happening. I love it when you like break that down for us.
Yeah. I haven't looked too much at all the transits and things that are coming up, but just, continuing to keep it like super simple with the
Yeah.
sun seasons,
Yeah. Yeah,
like
that.
right now we are in Aries season, which as Vaughn mentioned is the first sign of the zodiac. So there is a wheel, and it goes around. And so we are at the very beginning of that wheel, which is the Aries sign. So as the sun moves across the Aries constellation, it's like shining down that Aries energy on all of us. And so that activates the Aries parts of your chart. We all have Aries within us, even if you don't have any prominent Aries placements. Aries still rules one of the houses on your chart. So we all have a little bit of Aries in us. And so this is going to bring that up kind of to the surface, make it more prominent. And so Aries energy is the fire starter, being the first sign. It is inspiration. It is the beginning of something. It is like that drive and that motivation and that excitement and that thrill of like a new idea, a new passionate thing that you're like, I want to do this, like grabbing this and going for it, right? It is action, it is forward movement. Aries is the sign of the warrior. So sometimes in its lower vibration, there can be a little bit of like, I want this so bad, get out of my way. I don't care who I plow over because I'm so excited about this thing. Um, Aries is also a bit of a focus on the self. So it's like looking at yourself within the world and like where you fit in, like who am I? So it can be a bit of like self-reflection as well. So Aries is a really interesting energy because it really ignites things within us and it starts new things within us. But it can also be a bit fiery, a little bit angry, a little. So you might find yourself like a short fuse a little bit this month. And if you do, it's okay. It's not about necessarily like shaming that. It's just about like witnessing and seeing it and moving through it. And then towards the end of the month, we will move into Taurus season, which is my sun sign. My birthday is in May. Taurus energy is very, very grounded, very earth centered, but it's also very slow moving, very stubborn. So going from Aries season to Taurus season can feel a bit like you smack into a wall and it's a little bit like, whoa. Um, it's like you come up with all these ideas, you're moving, you're moving, you're moving, and then Taurus comes in and is like, all right, but let's make a stable, steady, long-term plan for maintaining this energy. Like we can't just like keep going at this pace, you'll burn out. So Taurus is like, all right, let's be a bit more practical, a bit more slow. Taurus is about the beauty and the sensuality and the luxury of life. So it's a little bit about bringing some of those elements kind of in too. So that's the month of April with the sun signs.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Both my girls are April babies. Sophie, my younger one, is April 16th, so she's in
She's an
Aries.
April. Yep.
And my older daughter is April 20th, and so she's a Taurus. And
Interesting.
the way you just broke down those signs, like you just broke down my daughters completely. And they could not be more opposite just to be 4 days apart. Like that shit just blows my mind, right? Because Sophie, my younger one, Aries, is all fire, go, 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 will not miss a thing. And then my daughter Grace is like, she always says, I'm in my grandma era. Like, like she just wants to like, she's like slow and just soaks it all in, no rush, has no desire. She's fine if she misses anything and everything. And it's just so funny.
That is really, really funny. That's actually my brother and I. My brother is an Aries and I'm a Taurus.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. Yep. So we had that similar sibling dynamic in our house too. And I'm the oldest and he's younger, that Aries energy. So it's very, I get exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Yeah, that's too funny. Just the way you were explaining it, I was like, I mean, I knew it, but the way you just said it really hit home, literally. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes.
All right, let's get to the cards. Okay, so as long as you're not driving while you're listening to this, I invite you to close your eyes with us. If you are driving, just follow along. Let's all take a nice deep breath in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Just allowing us to sync up together as a collective. Let's do this one more time. In through the nose, breathing in as deep as you can, holding it here at the top, and exhaling through the mouth. Just release it, let it all go. Drop that to-do list. Let go of the things that are tugging and pulling on your heart and mind. Allow your sweet human self to step aside for just a few moments so that you can be with us here in this sacred container. Casting a golden light of protection around us throughout all time and space, around Vaughn and myself as we record, and around you as you listen wherever you might be. Asking that any lower level energies, including thoughts, feelings, beliefs, or spirits, would be outside of this sacred container at this time. And calling in now our way showers, our guides, our angels, our loved ones, ancestors who have passed, ascended masters, archangels, any beings who are of the highest vibration and only with our purest of intentions are welcomed into this space at this time. I also ignite and invoke now the power of holy fire, Karuna Reiki, to be infused throughout this entire episode, so that simply hearing and listening and receiving these words would act as a gentle cleansing process, letting this holy fire burn and release anything within you that is holding you back, any resistance, any fear, any hesitation or doubt. And in those places that have been made empty through this gentle cleansing process, I ask that the light from the highest of heavens would shine down and make you whole and complete, to remind you of your holiness, this word that means whole, coming back to yourself so that we can use this information to make choices and decisions to lead us on the path of our highest timeline. We set the intention to seek guidance and awareness around the month of April 2025. And we open our hearts and minds to receiving whatever information may come through for us at this time, offering up our deepest gratitude to those beings who are gathered here today in our name. And so it is.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
What a beautiful prayer and blessing. That's so beautiful.
Thank you. Just moving the cards around as you kind of come back to yourself. Okay. Oh, I love this so much. Okay, so we're starting off with my Weeping Willow card. This card is about past lives and ancestors. This is about our roots. This is about our connection to those who came before us. And when I first, in case you don't know, I am trained in past life regression work, and I do regressions in my membership for people. I used to do them one-on-one. Now I only do them in a group setting as part of my membership. But when I first got trained in regression work, I remember having this thought like, okay, so if we're going back to our past lives, then those are also, we are our own ancestors. Like if I've lived before, then I'm my own ancestor. I've done this. So it's not necessarily that you were the people in your exact family tree, your exact family lineage. You may have lived in other countries or different cultures or whatever, but we are all part of the history and the past and what was, and we're also part of the present. And so it's all this like the timelines are all meshed, right? And so this card asks you to honor what came before you, both your past lives, ancestors, other beings, just those that have paved the way, those that have created where we are now. And I chose the weeping willow as a symbol of this because I've always been really attracted to weeping willows. I have like a memory of one as a child that was like at our neighborhood pool. And I remember laying under it like in the summertime. And it was just, it felt so like gorgeous and magical and like fairy-like. And I don't know, something about it. And so when I wrote my deck, I was like, I need to have a weeping willow. And I started researching it. Some of the cards, like the messages came to me first, and then I had to find a symbol for it. And some of it was like the symbol came first, and I was like, well, what could I say about that? What does this represent? And I knew I had to have a weeping willow. So I started researching it. And I found out that its roots are like incredibly extensive and they go very far. So to me, that sounded like this reminder of like how deep our roots are, that our past, you know, our past lives and our ancestors, that those roots run long and deep for all of us. And then the actual branches of a weeping willow are very thin and pliable and malleable. And so they can bend without breaking. And it's this reminder of like the resiliency of the human spirit, right? Of like what it means to be incarnated in a human body and how resilient we are, that we have made it through however many thousands and millions of years, right? Like we are still here. We are a very resilient species. And so this is about kind of tapping into the oneness of all that is. So if you feel called to do a past life regression this month in April, if you feel called to pull out like a picture of your ancestors, if you have any, I know I have a picture of like my great grandparents that I have out. Or if you have something that like a family heirloom that's been passed down, these are all ways to kind of tap into the past, you know, and to be reminded of that vastness and to be reminded of the cycles that you are breaking and the way that you are now a part of what's happening right now, this huge evolution of humanity. This is so different what's going on right now from anything that we've ever experienced. And so it is no coincidence that you are here at this time and to use what the people who came before us paved the way for, but to be here present in this moment and what we are meant to be doing now as well. So it's like this honoring of the past and also breaking those cycles and making changes and deconstructing things for a better future too.
Yeah, that feels so aligned and perfect. So many women that I work with and that are in our communities, I mean, they're doing it, right? Like they're creating the change, they're being the change. And while doing that, like they've never done this before. They are stepping into uncharted territories and they are healing on like the action, the actual doing of the things is so healing not only for themselves but for generationally, like for every woman before them that could not do it, that didn't have that ability. And I just think that that's a profound card because women right here, right now, especially in this Aries fiery season, are taking action
Mhm.
and just understanding the healing that is taking place as you are taking those actions and at the same time feeling grounded and rooted in your truth. And also feeling the emotions that arise as you are taking these steps, because that's scary and that brings, up a lot of emotion with people as they're doing the big scary things because they're letting go of more of their ego. And that's when you let go of parts of yourself, holy shit, that hurts like hell. Like it is a painful, painful process. So, yeah, that feels so beautiful for the energies we're working with right now.
It does feel relevant, doesn't it? And it's also like sometimes I think we get in this like, why is this happening to me? Or like what like we think it's all about just us. And I think this card also reminds you like there's a bigger purpose. There's a bigger reason for why you're going through this because you're literally breaking cycles and chains for the future, for the past. Like it's all one. Everything's happening all at once. There's no linear timeline. Like it's not just about you. You are part of this thread that goes throughout all time and space, right? So anything you're going through, anything you're facing, when you change it and shift it and work on it, you're benefiting everybody.
That's a beautiful card too. I don't think we've pulled that one in a long time,
Yeah, if we have, it's been a very
if
long
ever. Yeah, it's
time.
beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. I love this card so, so, so much. Um, yeah, its message is really, really beautiful. So the second card we pulled up is my Thorn card. And actually, this is the card of the month for my membership. So I want to tell you before I get into this that if this message really, really strikes you, come in the membership this month. Go deeper with this. We do a tapping sequence all about the message of this card. We do a whole regression around the meaning of this card. I have a card reading that I do. We have calls to support you. You can come on, you can share how this is showing up in your life and get support from others in the community. We have a guest. Actually, the guest this month is Stacey Bennett, who everyone here knows,
Oh, yeah.
going to be coming and doing breath work to help us move through
Oh,
the meaning of this
amazing.
card.
Oh, I might cry right now.
Right?
What?
You get all of this for $44. I only charge 44 a month. That is so much value. So even if you
It's,
want to come in and try it and
yeah.
see what you think, it really is an incredible supportive community. So this card I actually want to read to you. So the keywords for this card are challenge, self-validation, and comparison. Thorns are prevalent throughout the natural world, growing on holly bushes, roses, brambles, cactus, and more. Their ability to cut or wound you represents challenges, pain, and other difficult emotions. The thorn card surfaces to validate that you are in the midst of difficulty and strife. You may have been conditioned to stay positive no matter what, but Thorn asks you to pause and recognize the pain. It is easier to ignore what you feel or deny the depth of a situation in an effort to just feel okay again. The problem with blowing past these emotions is that they can fester and create more issues in the future with your health or other undesirable circumstances. Start by honestly stating to yourself that what you're experiencing is difficult and hard. Feel the power of self validation from deep within. This is not self pity or acting as a victim. This is earnestly pausing to honor what you are going through. Next, let go of any comparison to others who have faced similar challenges. You might be tempted right now to dismiss your experience by saying that someone else has been through situations that are far worse than yours. Does another person's story take away the validity of your experience? Who is to measure the depth of a hardship? Devaluing your experience does nothing to encourage healing. In addition, others may be stepping forward to give their opinions or suggestions. Take advice from them or emulate their actions only to the degree that it's actually helpful for you. The moment you begin to abandon what feels true for you means it's time to forge your own path. And the reminder with this card is dismissing your pain only perpetuates it. Pause to acknowledge the validity of your challenge.
Well,
This card I wrote because I think so often in our society, people are like, oh, well, it could be worse. Like it could be worse or whatever,
absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
And sure, maybe it could be, but does that mean that you're not having a hard time? And I think what we go through is relative to our, this is all set up in your plan for your soul in this lifetime, in this incarnation, right? What is challenging and difficult for you is what you are meant to be moving through, and that is valid. So this isn't about like feeling bad for yourself or anything or sitting in it for too long, but it is about being like, no, it's okay that this is a challenge for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
right? That's what this is about.
Yeah. I love this so much. One of the things I remember my mom ever telling me is like the wisest thing she ever told me, I do believe, and it's around this. And I remember I was probably in my teen years, probably like 15, 16, somewhere in there. And I remember just being very emotional about what was happening in my life. I have no idea what that was. And I remember saying, I just feel bad because so many people have it worse. Like, I just feel so bad for feeling this way when it's in comparison, not that bad at all. And she told me in all of her glory that yes, people had it worse than me, but my feelings mattered. And in that moment, especially because I was a very, very, very sensitive child.
You are a
So
Cancer sun after all.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So just a little emotional over here. But that was one of the best things she could have ever told me because it gave me permission to feel my feelings.
yep.
It really, and it has stuck with me, and I've shared that advice with so many others because it's so easy to get caught up in that. And when we are going through these expansive energies that we are working through, like things, we're gonna get poked, like we are gonna get poked. And it is very important to, like I was just telling you, like I got poked and I really in this Aries season, like just, right now as it just turned into this Aries season, I felt it like, and I described it as that. I was like, I got poked, and it felt just like a thorn that hurt my little heart. And I was just like, really allowing myself to be with the emotions and to be with it because my feelings were hurt. And um but the way that I handled it, and it was everything just like you just described in that card. And so that's another thing, like when I'm saying like I'm proud of myself, is because I was poked by a thorn, and the way that I allowed myself to process through the emotions of it with truth. I wasn't in denial. I was very aware of all of my feelings, and as silly as they may have sounded or not, I was with them. And then once the emotions that's when it's interesting. Like, but that's when we move from our emotions to our thoughts. And our thoughts begin to tell us the story to create the narrative. So then I had to control my thoughts and my mind
Yeah.
and not let it become more of a denial thing or a brushing under the rug, like, or letting it spiral or pretending like I'm better when maybe actually I wasn't. So then that became a whole thing. So it was like so interesting to navigate through that. And it did take a few days, honestly, in reality. But on the other side of that, I can say, like, okay, I truly sat with that in all forms, mind, body, and spirit. And okay, now I'm okay.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
exactly what this is about. That is the exact
Yeah.
process of it. Is like not being like, well, this is silly. I shouldn't be upset about this. I'm gonna move
Right.
on.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, no, this might seem silly or this might be
Uh-huh.
a first world kind of a thing. Sure, other people are dealing with worse in the scope of humanity, but this is
Right.
valid for me right now. This is
Yeah. It's like, but this is still my life.
my life. That's what this card is. Like, this is still my life. I still feel this way, you know? And I think that honestly, I think a lot of that comes from like going back to the Weeping Willow card. Like, this comes back from how our culture and our society is built, is like, don't feel too bad for yourself. Get up, move on, do this. Or
Yeah.
that like
So true.
hard masculine, like don't just move on, And so this is by allowing yourself to acknowledge that whatever it is upsetting you is breaking a chain. It's breaking a cycle. It's shifting something. It's allowing us to be authentic, to feel our feelings and to move through them. And that process will get quicker and quicker and quicker as we evolve over time, right? But
Yeah.
it's authenticity is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. I love that.
Yep. And then we end on a really, really beautiful note. We end with my Leo card. I
Yeah.
love this card so much. I love
So
this.
gorgeous.
I
Oh, so much energy in that card.
know. I'm going to read this one to you guys too, because I like what I wrote in here. And if you are a tarot buff, this is my ode to the strength card in tarot. Like if I had the strength card in my deck, it's my Leo card. So the keywords with this one are confidence, strength, and power. And it says, a golden lion gazes down on you from a throne in the sky, bestowing you with power, grace, and wisdom. The Leo constellation has long been associated with Zeus, the Greek king of gods on Mount Olympus. There is ancient royalty in this zodiac sign. The Leo card often arrives when you are doubting yourself and offers a renewed sense of just how powerful you are. It is not required to have any connection to the Leo zodiac sign for this constellation to give you a message. This card is bringing attention to the part of you that possesses a beautiful, quiet inner strength which needs no external validation. This is divine feminine energy at its finest, which displays strength without force. There is no need to proclaim your talents, wisdom, or abilities to the world. True power is not shown through dominance or convincing, but in quiet self certainty. You may not feel as though you're exhibiting all these qualities right now, but that's okay. Leo illuminates where you are doubting yourself or desiring reassurance from someone else. It is exactly when you think all confidence in yourself is gone that you must reach down and find what has been there all along. Remember that you deserve to feel confident in your capabilities. Whether you feel ready or not is irrelevant because you truly are. Tap into the steadfast tenacity that needs no validation from anyone else besides yourself. Others will naturally see your light when you make decisions and take actions from that place of inner strength. Straighten your crown, remember who you are, and act with confidence and grace. And the reminder
Mm.
is you hold a quiet power that only requires self validation.
Wow. That's powerful. That's so beautiful. Dana, just reflection. Once again, you wrote that.
I did.
It still amazes me that you did that. It's so beautiful.
Thank you. I love this card. And it's a beautiful one to end on, like reminding you of your.
Yes.
And we kind of did that last month too with the waterfall card, but just in a very different way. This is different
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
This is about not needing other people to like reassure you, like knowing your path,
Mhm.
feeling strong in it and steady in it, and just moving forward with it. So I love that energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's beautiful. It's perfect. What a perfect wrap up for the card collection and for this month that we're working with.
Yeah, for sure. So I think we are breaking cycles. Like if I had to sum these three cards up, like I really feel like this month is an opportunity to break some cycles, to break some patterns around dismissing your own feelings and also doubting your own confidence. So this is an opportunity to flip that script, right? And to be very authentic in how you feel, to honor that, and to also feel and embrace your capabilities, your power, your crown, like really stepping into that. So, if you want to like wear a crown again this month, like if you feel like you need to do that, I know we've offered that as homework before. I think that was with the amethyst card, but this is like a royalty card too. So, put that crown on and remember who you are.
I love it. Yeah. And Aries is very got some queen energy for sure.
Yes, it does. Yeah. And Leo is also a fellow fire sign, and I don't have Aries in the deck. So, there's that fire energy that's coming.
Perfect.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah. I love it. Perfect. Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm excited to tune in to these energies and really just play around with them. And oh my gosh, I just realized like in our May, I'll be in Egypt
Mhm.
for our beginning of May because I don't come back until the 6th. So
We'll
we'll
figure
have
that
to
out.
figure out how to do that. We could probably just like while I'm in Egypt, like hop on I'll have lots of free time.
Okay.
Okay, I think we'll have to do that. I plan on still recording, even just a little, every, the weeks while I'm there, which I guess would only be 1 week and then 1 week could be May, so we'll have to look at it. But I plan on still like having my podcast because Lord forbid me record anything in advance. Like that's just not who I am. So I'm not going to start now. Like it's got to be fresh and hot off the presses. So fresh off the intuitive download. So I'm just going to keep with that theme.
There you go.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Dana. I know everyone looks forward to this. I know I do. It's my favorite conversation of the month. So thank you for your wisdom and your energy and just being who you are. All
My honor. It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for always having me.
right. And thank you everyone for listening and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.